waiting for it, and it's finally here. This is Uongozi. Kenyans from different counties finally get a chance to show their leadership potential. Thousands applied for the opportunity to run for virtual office as the nation evaluates them on their leadership qualities. Over 12,000 Kenyans applied, 240 were shortlisted for auditions, and by the end of this process, only 8 men and 8 women will have the historic chance to compete to be the leader Kenya is looking for.
Naitwa Saida Famau kutoka Kilifi County.
I'm Patrick Bovimutua from Makueni County.
Mimi naitwa Nyama Gladys Mason natoka Narok County.
The winner will get a 6-month leadership prize, which will include an all-expenses-paid trip to experience 6 leadership and governance institutes across 4 continents: Asia, Africa, Europe, and North America. A total of 1.2 million shilling stipend over the 6-month period and a 3 million shilling grant to implement a public project of their choice. With a highly persuasive and tempting prize on the line, each of these hopefuls is keeping their fingers crossed that they will be the Kiongozi. But before then, how did it begin?
It's a leadership campaign urging Kenyans to think differently about leadership, to think of issues, to think of leaders who think of them rather than the usual political chants that we've been hearing. And it's very relevant because it's coming just before the general elections in 2013.
When we come to our overall leadership, we don't look at these values and qualities of a person and what they could do. We tend to think of other things apart from that. So I hope that the Uongozi program will be able to at least sensitize Kenyans. 80% of people who are going to vote in this coming general election will be able to look and analyze each and every leader that they're voting in, to check their qualities, to check their values, in order to bring them back to office or in order to get them to be people to serve them in future.
Tunataka kubadilisha uongozi wa nchi hii. Yes. Watu wa tumbo wamekuwa wakijua kiongozi lazima awe na tumbo kubwa, ati lazima awe na pesa. Kiara imefika kwa mgongo, haifai. Huyo ndio kiongozi.
Ni idea mzuri kufungua watu macho na kupatia nafasi watu ambao hawana uwezo, wako na zile qualities za kuwa viongozi lakini hawana uwezo.
Kiongozi mzuri anapaswa kuwafanyia nini wa Kenya, ili kwamba badala ya kila wakati watu wanalalamika, watu wao wanajua tukifanya hivi na hivi na hivi tutapata kiongozi mzuri.
Tumesema kikomo imefikia ni sasa, na sasa ni mwaka ujao wakati wa uchaguzi, au sio?
The Uongozi campaign made use of various platforms to get the message of their application process across. These included roadshows which were done for several weeks across the 47 counties. Traversing the country from Western Kenya to Central Kenya to the coast, the main objective was to have as many Kenyans apply from all regions. Nation Media Group, one of the key partner organizations, was instrumental in giving the campaign the visibility and the support it needed.
There were 3 elements to Nation Media Group's role in the Uongozi initiative. So there were the articles that were generated by external parties, but also by our own columnists, which were talking about the general state of the country as it were. We also ran an advertising campaign. Again, this was run across our different platforms. So it ran in the newspapers, the Daily Nation and NTV. It ran on radio, both our radio stations, Easy FM and QFM. It ran on both television stations, NTV, QTV, and it also ran online on nation.co.ke.
Politicians do things for their own benefits, but for a leader is somebody who minds other people.
Politician just now seems to be somebody who's full of rhetoric and a need for a higher salary.
Third pillar of our participation was through roadshows. Through QFM, which is one of the leading Kiswahili radio stations, we went to different parts of this country, talking to people about Uongozi, the meaning of leadership, the meaning of true leadership values. And through that, we were then able, in partnership with a number of other organizations, to then generate additional applications as well as create a general awareness on the ground about the initiative.
The impact of the roadshows was clear, stirring debate and discussion amongst Kenyans, as well as resulting in numerous applications.
Wakati mbunge anaomba kura, anaahidi mambo ambayo hatatimiza, na huenda wanadai wananchi, nitaweka maji, nitaweka stima, nitafanya jambo fulani, lakini hilo jambo hawatimizi.
Potential leaders filled a detailed application form either in soft copy, via the internet, or a hard copy during or after the roadshows.
Uongozi approached us regarding the initiative that they had, and they wanted people from various areas, different ages and age groups, and also people who are in the grassroots to be able to participate.
The Postal Corporation of Kenya's vast network of over 600 post offices was used to distribute and collect application forms from across the 47 counties. The massive applications, counting well over 12,000, were then sorted both manually and electronically. Using a criteria fair enough to sieve the very best, and with special computer software, only 5 contestants were shortlisted from each county, presenting a chance to 240 finalists from 47 counties to proceed to the next phase, the auditions. To shortlist the final 16 contestants, precisely 8 men and 8 women, auditions across Kenya will be held in 4 different regions to cover all the 47 counties. And to kick us off with the audition process, 60 contestants, being our first set to be auditioned, meet in Oloitoktok town. 250 kilometers from Nairobi, Oloitoktok is a charming town located at the Kenya-Tanzania border. And in Oloitoktok, shortlisted potential leaders from 12 other counties arrive. This include Nairobi, Taita Taveta, Kiambu, Kirinyaga, Voi, Mombasa, Kwale, Makueni, Machakos, Muranga, Kajiado, and Nyeri counties. 3 other auditions will be done in Garissa, Kitale, and Kisii as we look for the ideal candidate for Uongozi. Contestants came from various places, ready to take their chance at the auditions here.
My name is Betty Jean Nyambura Githinji. I come from Kajiado County in Ongatarongai.
My name is Caroline Wangari Ndungu and I come from Muranga County.
Majina yangu naitwa Rashid Gasare Mwagasare. Nimetoka eneo la Kwale County. Safari ilikuwa ndefu sana. Nilianza jana toka nyumbani mpaka town center Mombasa, na saa 3 usiku nikachukua basi kuja Nairobi. Pofika Nairobi asubuhi kama saa 12 nikaweza kuchukua matatu kuja hapa Oloitoktok.
3 judges have been selected from a panel of judges to manage the Oloitoktok audition. Judges with good knowledge of current affairs. Judges with a passion for issues.
My name is Paul Goldsmith. I'm an anthropologist, social scientist. I do a lot of research, do a lot of policy oriented. I write for the Kenyan media. And there's plenty of role models in Kenya. But I'd really like to see something a little bit more off the beaten track.
My name is Dr. Wambui Wedaka. I'm a medical doctor. I work at Pumwani Maternity Hospital, working for the government of Kenya. I am also the national treasurer of the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union. Don't take your story as too small a story to tell, or your inspiration as too big an inspiration to deliver. You never know. This might be what we have been looking for to turn this country around.
My name is Eric Wanaina. I'm a musician and an activist from Nairobi, Kenya. And this is the time for hard questions to be asked. And for, I think, the leader who would come out on Uongozi would be the kind of person who can ask those hard questions and can have a plan for how to answer those hard questions too.
And the contestants seem to be working to offer just that.
It's not enough that we talk about what is bad in Kenya. It's time we took that change. That's why I took the initiative of applying, because I believe in a greater Kenya.
Niko na miaka kama 49. Umri haujanipita kwa sababu uongozi uko ndani yangu kutokana na mambo ambayo nimekuwa nikifanya pale mbeleni.
Some of the values that I would hope to find in some of the contestants would be originality, creativity. I think I'm particularly combining those with a real kind of problem-solving focus.
A leader has to be someone who thinks of others before themselves, thinks of the best way to inspire others to think of others, and generate a chain reaction where everybody is the most responsible and the leader is responsible for them all.
I think that we need to put more emphasis on problem solving and critical thinking. I'm looking for someone who is prepared to follow their inner voice.
The stakes are high and the contestants are bracing themselves for a long day ahead.
Natarajia kwamba nitafanya vyema na nitafaulu. Mimi naona ninavyo vipawa vyote vya uongozi. Kama kijana ni mkakamavu, nina nguvu na ni mzuri katika kujieleza, najua hali ya uongozi wa nchi yetu inavyoendelea.
Bwana Rashid, habari gani? Asante sana kwa kufika hapa leo. Swali la kwanza ni hili. Unaona kama mob justice, kama security forces hawako, kama inaweza kuruhusiwa?
Mob justice kama security forces hawako, haiwezi kuruhusiwa.
Kwa nini?
Kwa sababu inaleta maafa mengi sana.
Ni nini nakufanya utake kuwa kiongozi?
Kwa sababu nimeona ya kwamba kwanza vijana wa makamu yangu hawapendi kuingilia mambo ya uongozi, na tumeona ya kwamba sisi kama vijana ndio tuna ile nia ama ile mwelekeo ya kwamba tunaweza kuigeuza nchi hii kuwa nchi yenye kuzalisha zaidi.
Una umri gani, Rashid?
Mimi na umri wa miaka 33.
Kuna zile sababu ambazo zinapeleka vijana kuwa masupporter wa MRC ni gani? Na wewe mwenyewe kama ni mwongozi Kwale, ungechukua hatua gani kutatua matatizo?
Vijana wengi wanakuwa katika kundi la MRC kwa sababu ya kwamba wamekosa ajira na wamekosa mwelekeo bora. Na pia wameona ya kwamba pengine mbeleni hakuna manufaa kwao yanayokuja, hakuna mwangaza, ndio sababu unakuta ya kwamba wanajiingiza katika kundi la MRC. Na mimi kama ningekuwa kiongozi, ningewashauri vijana watulie na tuangalie suluhisho la kudumu.
Tofauti ya mwanasiasa na kiongozi?
Tofauti ya mwanasiasa na kiongozi. Kiongozi ni mtu anayewakilisha watu fulani ama sehemu fulani, na mwanasiasa ni mtu ambaye sera zake hazina uhakika.
Sawa.
Haya bwana Rashid. Shukrani
sana.
Asante sana.
Coming up next, the auditions get even more interesting.
Come again.
Welcome back to Uongozi. We are in Oloitoktok for the very first of the 4 auditions to be held in 4 different regions. There are 60 contestants battling it out, and only 4 of them from this region will be picked by the judges to proceed. 3 other auditions will be done in Garissa, Kitale, and Kisii as we search for the ideal candidate for Uongozi. Contestants are asked a set of 5 initial questions to test their perspective on leadership and everyday life.
Why do you want to be a leader?
Why I want to be a leader is because I believe that I understand the issues that I want to be a part of when it comes to solving them.
Because I think the biggest problem we have in this country is the attitude problem. That people don't fully understand what is their role in shaping the outcomes of leadership. And most of the time we don't have leaders who are strong enough to cross the threshold and encourage more people to come out, especially on the platform of integrity.
I'm a creative person, and being in leadership gives me an opportunity to implement some ideas that I think could work well for my country or my community or wherever I am, depending on the position. When I was in campus, there's a friend of mine who passed away. Actually, my friend and then a friend's auntie. And the circumstances under which it happened were quite annoying or like...
Kathy, tell me, what do you think should have been done differently?
Differently?
Yeah.
I think it was neglect by the hospital.
In my opinion, leadership is not about your age. Leadership is not about what you have. leadership is actually, to some extent, it's a calling.
Herman even goes as far as giving a special message.
Individuals wote wa Kayole, all the people wenye wananijua, I have utmost respect na waheshimu sana. The guys who work the mechanics, all the way to the Asians when wanafanyanga businesses, those places, and even the mama mboga mwenye anatuzia githeri, and without whom the household will find it a bit difficult to exist. I have the utmost respect for you. It is because of you, you pay your vote, you pay your, indirectly or directly, your taxes. That's how Kenya is run. So now I shame son.
Very nice. He's the most eloquent guy we've come across so far.
I think the guy was really sharp. He's young. He's got facts at his fingertips.
I didn't get the answer out of that urban settlement at all. I just had words and words and words.
There was the question on mob justice, and the contestants seemed to be reading from the same script.
If you cannot find the police, or they're not working very well, is mob justice okay?
When you take the law in your hands, it is very, very dangerous.
No, it's not okay.
We can't really take the law in our own hands. What the people need to do is work together collectively to put pressure on the government to reform the law, to reform whatever problems there might be.
It's not okay, because they will be taking law into their hands, and the person, whatever crime he has committed, he has a right also.
Until someone abandoned the script.
Yeah, sometimes they can be justifiable, because maybe assume someone has been found maybe in a rape case. So I think that one, he's supposed to be disciplined by the community or by the people before he gets disciplined by the law system. He's supposed to be punished, but he should not be killed. But sometimes, okay, because they have a lot of tempers, so they go beyond the killing.
It was very good, quite exciting. I liked the questions. The judges were very objective because they asked questions that are, day to day. You actually live through them. And I found myself thinking, not like a common person, but as a leader, how would I behave in such circumstances?
The interview was okay, it was very done. Actually, maybe the judges are the one who can really tell about it. Yeah, because actually sometimes you get tense.
I think the mob justice, sort of the stand
brave.
on that was, like you said, quite brave.
Yeah, quite brave. She said.
I think she was probably gutsiest.
And also honest, because automatically you'd say mob justice is wrong. But if you found a man on top of a little girl, I think your first instinct could be it's good that she didn't deny herself the humanity of herself.
If you're looking for leaders with an unusual look at life, Oloitoktok may just be hosting them tonight.
What do you think is most important, forests or farms?
Water.
Mashamba.
Ama misitu.
Misitu.
Mashamba na misitu.
Mashamba.
Yeah, versus forest. Which do you think is more important?
Versus force.
Forest.
Forests.
Misitu.
Misitu. All right, I get you. Could you kindly repeat the question? My perspective of leadership is that we need to have leaders who serve the needs of the people. Farms. Mashamba. We can integrate forests in farming.
In your questionnaire, you made a very interesting comment. I think it said, what's the worst mistake you ever made? And you said, leaving your shoelace untied. Would you care to explain further what you meant by that?
I was holding a cash box, going to the other side on the counter. So, thief came, or robbers, with AK-47 shooting randomly. When I was approached, among others, it fell down. That's why I'm coming to say the one shoe, raise, clubs, okay?
Okay.
But, although that was a fear, I didn't give up. I took that box, so they came shooting, following me. Then looking where to see the manager was not there. So what I decided is to look aside, only to see manager. The secretary left her office. Manager went underground on the desk where you are now. So the manager come on top of you, coming top of you. Now they are all hiding. So he kept on lying on top of the secretary. I did it within a few minutes. The CID and this was time of show. That famous
Patrick Shaw.
Patrick Shaw. No, within a few seconds he came. So that is the fear.
Hi, Eric. I have no idea what that has to do with the shoelaces, though.
Sometimes explaining yourself can be quite difficult.
Tukiwa na misitu huko ndio mvua inatoka. Samba.
Kwa nini?
Kwa sababu the food we eat come from the samba. Ni msitu.
Kwa nini?